Hey everyone, Mark over here at Twanger's Turntable. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I hope you'll find something you'll dig and you'll stick around. If you return, thanks for all your support in the past and present and hopefully going forward. It's been a few minutes since I posted a video, but that's the way things are. You all know the drill if you're returning. And I'll just send out a cheers to everybody, all my family and friends back home, everybody out there on YouTube and the vinyl community. The reason I'm here today, I'm jumping on a thread for a new member of the vinyl community, relatively new. It's been a few months. I certainly subscribed to him a while back, a couple of months, maybe a month, somewhere in there. But Daryl over at the Northern Vinyl, he's celebrating 50 subs. Now, he's beyond that at this juncture. I think he's up around 70, if I recall. But he's pushing for 100. Daryl also is celebrating his 45th birthday recently. He was born in 1979. So the theme of this thread is, I guess, multi-tiered. It's to represent 1979, the year of his birth, and his push to 100 subs. And he's Canadian, a fellow Canuck. So we're gonna try and support Daryl and get a thread response going here. Like I say, I swore these threads off not so long ago, but it's a quick way to get on here and show some of my vinyl and you know, kind of hang out with you guys like I do on here, and hopefully you'll dig what I do. So let's get to it. So Daryl, like I say, he's the Northern Vinyl guy, and I've got the criteria of his thread pulled up there. I'll read it off to you. There's his channel. If you've not been there, please go over and subscribe to his channel. Support him, like I say, and we'll get him up to 100 subs. Yeah, he's currently at 73 when I loaded this page, so he's well on his way. So let me put on my cheaters here, because I don't remember what the criteria is. I know I just watched Steve over at All the World Stage do his, but the criteria are: 1, show a 45 vinyl you have in your collection of a band or artist from Canada or anywhere else if you don't have one from Canada. Bonus marks if it's from 1979. So I sort of have one, sort of. I'll get to that in a minute. Number 2, show an album that was released in 1979, the year Daryl was born. Number 3, show the 50th album alphabetically in your collection. I'm going to do that in 2 ways. Because I do have a Discogs list, but it only probably includes half of my collection, if that. So I'll pull the 50th from my Discogs list, but I'll also pull the 50th from my collection. Because as you can see, I've got a lot of them pulled out, and if you've been, noticing, those are all Canadian artists. I just hooked them up for my last video, let's be honest. Sometimes that's the biggest part of this, is putting the records away, getting them out, putting them away, setting them up. And then finally, 4, show an artist, band, album title, or song title that has a number in it. Bonus if it's the number 100. Well, I have a couple albums that could qualify for that here, but we'll get to that as well. And I just thought of another couple of 45s I could show here. But whatever, I've already got some pulled. So let's get to it. I showed you this page, we've got the criteria. So show a 45 you have on vinyl in your collection. Now, this is one that I feel fairly confident in saying the amount of people in the vinyl community, or anywhere for that matter, that's going to have this, I would say would maybe be in the dozens, maybe the hundreds. I know there weren't many of them released. And it's somewhat special. I mean, it is special. It's kind of cool. The members are partly from Canada, but also Scotland. And the name of the band is King Beez. Now that's KingBeezz. So I've got a 45 here where they do a cover of Gloria on it. And it's got all the band members' signature on it, on this little 45. Now, this is not from 1979. This goes back, I don't even know what year this would be, probably 67, 68. And I don't know if you can see the signatures on there. One of the signatures on there is my bestie's dad. Her biological dad is a member of this band. And there they are, the King Bees, taking off. Gloria is side A, is backed with She Belongs to Me. And it says here from Scotland. If you pause your screen, you can read the details there. This was when they were actually playing out of Edmonton, Alberta, which is where my wife was born. But yeah, so this is a 45 in my collection, not from 1979. It's got the members of the band on there. I'm not going to read them off, just for you can look it up if you're interested. Yeah, one of the members of this band is my wife Jen's dad. But no, they are not active anymore. Although he still is. He still plays a lot of folk, Irish and Scottish folk music, bagpipes. He's got a couple of his own releases. And then another one from 79, just for shits and giggles. This was huge in Canada, although they are from out of England. It's a 45 by The Monks. I'll pull that out of its sleeve on Capitol. And it was side A. It was big in Canada. Drugs in My Pocket, and it's backed by Love in Stereo, which is a really cool tune too. I always dug these guys. My older brother had the album, and I remember it clearly. In 1979, I would have been 11. So got a few years on you, Daryl. And then finally, a couple more just for good measure. Foghat, Third Time Lucky, backed by Love in Motion. These are from 79. And another one here says it's from 79, but I know this was actually released or recorded in 1978. And it's Suzi Quatro and Chris Norman stumbling in. This was part of that Chinny Chap Productions. Mike Chapman, Nicky Chin, backed by A Stranger to Paradise. So this was a big hit for them in 79. But it was recorded in 78, that much I know. So next up, what's the next criteria? Show an album that was released in 1979. Well, this could qualify as a number as well, and they are Canadian, and it's Max Webster, A Million Vacation. Now, you may have seen my buddy Mike over at MGK show this several times. It's, it's great Canadian content. Lead vocalist would go on to have a great solo career, Kim Mitchell. But yeah, these guys were great. Gary McCracken on drums, Dave Miles on bass, of course, Kim Mitchell on lead guitar and vocal, and Terry Watkinson as well. Great album from 1979, and A Million Vacations would certainly qualify as a number for the thread, but that's not the one I'm going to use as my go-to. This was pretty big here in Canada. I don't know what they did globally, but Paradise Skies, that was a fairly popular one on the airwaves. Night Flights. In fact, I would suggest most of this album, it's almost the greatest hits. At least maybe that's just to me, because again, this is another one my older brother had, and it got spun a ton in my house. A Million Vacations, of course, the title track. Let Go the Line, that was a huge one. I always liked that tune. But yeah, 1979. So that's my album for 1979, and a Canadian artist to boot, as they say. All right, so moving on. The next 50th record in my collection, as I alluded to. So according to Discogs, the 50th record in my collection, alphabetically, something I have in common with my buddy Steve over there, is it happens to be Alice Cooper. And my 50th is Lace and Whiskey by Alice Cooper. And of course, this one certainly not anywhere near 79. What is this? Yeah, 77, so it's not far off. Yeah. But this is one I picked up a while back, and really solid record. This is, to me, one of his better solo ones. Of course, this is not the band Alice Cooper. This is just Alice Cooper, the solo act. But that's the 50th according to Discogs. And like I say, I have a lot of them that aren't filed yet. So if I were to actually file everything on Discogs, it would be a different album that would pull out of my 50th. But if I go over to my rack, like I just mentioned to you, and pick out the 50th one, it is this one, another one. This is a Canadian act, and it's probably one of their better albums, certainly one I grew up with. It's an original copy with the embossed cover, and it's April Wine, The Whole World's Going Crazy. Love this album. My older brother played this ad nauseum, but not really, because I never really got tired of it. It was on 8-track back then. He had it on 8-track, but yeah, side one, Give Me Love, So Bad, Wings of Love, We Can Be More Than We Are. Wings of Love is an incredible tune. But this whole album, Rock and Roll Woman, Shot Down, Like a Lover, Like a Song, Kick Willie Road, that one brings back a lot of memories. Sitting in the back car of my brother's car as they boot around our little village. The Whole World's Going Crazy. Him and his buddy would be up front, and I'd be in the back, and I'd be blasting the whole thing. But yeah, so that's where are we at now? I guess that would be show the 50th. That's the criteria number 3. Let's move on to the last number 4, and the final criteria is show an artist, band, album title with the number 50 in it. And that I went with a band from the UK, and they're kind of in that hard rock, heavy metal vein. This just missed 79 by a year. Came out in 1980, I believe, this one. And very unorthodox for a debut. They chose to go with all live tracks on here. And it's Vardis, 100 miles per hour. This just a good rocking album. And they followed up with one that was just as good, in my humble opinion. Probably one of the only hard rock metal albums you'll hear with bagpipes on it. And I know some may say AC/DC, but that's not, at least at that point in AC/DC's career, that wasn't really hard rock or metal, in my opinion. This certainly is, and probably best known for one of the most, to me, underrated guitar players in Steve Zodiac. Incredible. Almost a Johnny Winter look. He's got those really long blonde hair. Used to play on stage, always barefoot, and just a great album with the number 100. Like I say, I could have used A Million Vacations. There's a few more up there. I could have used Canadian content there. That Trooper, Flying Colors, got 3 Dressed Up as a 9. The Hip, 38 Years Old. Stuff that I'm sure, well, Daryl may or may not be familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. Trooper, I would suggest you probably are. And The Hip, yeah, come on, you'd have to be the Northern Vinyl guy. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that wasn't too long and you were able to stick around for the whole thing. I'll give you a cheers once again, everybody. Good luck, Daryl. Please go over and sub Daryl's channel. Great guy. Interesting stuff that he shows. You know, he's in that. Well, I'm not going to say what he's in. You go and check him out and find out for yourself. And I hope to see you again soon, but I'll see you whenever I make a video. I don't know when that'll be. I'm not going to certainly commit to anything. There's so much going on. I enjoyed doing this. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And let's get Daryl up to 100. I don't see why he shouldn't be up there almost. I mean, like I say, he's at 73 now. So let's go, everybody. Sub him up. Hope to see you again soon, like I say. And until then, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll see you whenever I see you. Cheers, everyone. Bye.